Hey guys, it's Samantha Studebaker Carl here coming at you live from my home in Westfield, Indiana. And this is day 2 of how to generate leads from your blog that are highly responsive. So what we're going to do now is, in order to get the form on your blog, you have to create it in the first place. And so you need to be logged into your aweber account. And then we're going to go ahead and create a new list. So you're going to click on create a new list, which I started to do, and it's going to take you to this page. And you just need to decide what you're going to name your list. This is, let's see if this is going to be able to, I'm not sure if, yes, okay, your subscribers will see this list name. So you will want to go ahead and name in something that will be appropriate for your list. Now I'm just going to call this test list. And probably just put some numbers on here because a number of people have created test lists before. So this is just test list 235. And then your list description is going to be what this campaign is all about. So when you say that if they fill out the form, they're going to get a 12-day e-course, or if they're going to get an ebook or something along that line, so then name your list description something related to that. So like with mine, I might just call it, well, I originally called my first one Marketing Mastery Success with Sam. So we'll just call this one 12-day e-course. And of course you want to name it something that obviously has to do with what they're going to get when they get on your list. Then you want to fill in your name so that when they see the message come into their inbox, this is the name that is going to show up. And then you want to put the email address in for whichever email that you want to have show up on there as well. So when they get a message from you, this is the email that's going to show up for you. Okay, and then if you don't already have some contact information in your account from previous lists, then you'll have to enter that information as well. Okay, then if you want to get a notification each time somebody fills out the form and becomes a lead, then put your information in here. Put your name in whichever email you want to get that message from. And then click Save. Okay, now for this area here, this is all going to be, you can either put your name here for company name, because this is what shows up on your blog broadcast page. So like on your archive, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if you go to my archive page, I've put my picture in as my company logo. So if you put a picture in for the logo, that will show up. If you do not put a picture in, you leave the picture blank and you fill in this company information, that's the information that's going to show up on your blog broadcast archive page. So this is the page that shows all of the different emails that you've sent out as broadcast messages to your list. Okay? And then obviously if you have a logo in here also, then this will be something you can drag and drop into your messages from your blog broadcast, or not your blog broadcast, but from your create a broadcast message page. So fill this information in appropriately, and then if I would just put your blog address in here as the website URL so people can find their way back to you. And then if you have a saying or slogan or something along that lines, I would put that in there along with your name, okay, because that'll be your email signature. And then on the social media sharing, then obviously you want to connect your Facebook page, your Facebook profile, your Twitter accounts. You can if you want to. It's completely up to you. It depends on what you're trying to do with this particular list. And then on the broadcast archive settings, you want to make sure and include a web form and include your Twitter link. And this is what it'll look like over here on this, is it'll give somebody an option to subscribe from this page if they wanted to. And they can also follow you on Twitter. Okay, so you want to get that information in there, and that's automatic. Okay, so for your global text snippets, unless you're going to create something that you can change out very quickly, say you want to put your store hours or something if you're an actual retail store, or if and you think you might want to change those, then that would be why you would put in a you know, a snippet. So like when you put your Empower Network automatic follow-up messages, autoresponder messages in there, and then you had to change each individual thing for like the global username or global name or global phone number or whatever, that's what these are. It makes it possible so that you can quickly change some information across all of your messages. So if you think there's going to be something that you may want to change at some point in the future in every single message, then this is how you create a little text snippet that gives you a code that will go in your email, that you just change it once here and it changes it in every single message. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, then just kind of leave that blank and you won't have to really worry about it unless you're planning on sharing these messages with somebody else. Okay, so then that's all you're going to do on this page. Just click Save. And then you want to go to the next step. Well, we already saved, so our next step is personalize. Oh, we're on that one. So confirmed opt-in page. Now on this page, your confirmation message, I recommend that you keep this for this particular type of list, because what you're doing is people are entering their information, and you want to confirm, you want them to know that they are going to get messages from you. So what you can do is you can either leave it as this kind of default message, or you can edit it so that it will be something kind of from you. So let me show you the example of the one I have for my e-course. We'll go over there real quick. Okay, so like on mine, it says, okay, the subject line is confirm your subscription. Then I put, dear first name, we received your request to receive Marketing Mastery Success with Sam 12-day e-course. Before we begin sending you the info you requested, we want to make sure we have your permission. So I just put this little quick message in there. So you can do something very similar depending on what it is that you're giving away with your subscription form. So just put in a little message, personalize it just slightly, and then down here it automatically, you know, you can fill that in as well. Mine has my company name. You can put your personal name, whatever you want it to be, and then click on, obviously, so that it can confirm that they want to get this. And then what you're going to do is here at the end is where you're going to put your thank you page. So we haven't created that yet, so we're just going to go ahead and click our save settings for right now. So we're going to go back over to our test form. Your confirmed opt-in. Okay, so after you fill out all that information, you can go ahead and leave this blank for the moment. Okay, we're going to have to come back and put this page in here, but we are not creating that today. Today we're just going to create the form. So click Save Settings. Okay, so now you have a list created. Now you're going to go over here to where it says Web Forms, and this is where you're going to create your form. And then you're just going to go create a new form. And on this page you can see you can pretty much customize it to any way that you want. It has a bunch of templates that you can check out. If you go through here, it's popular templates. You can just kind of scroll through, find one that is going to look the way that you want it to look. It's going to go with your website. It's going to go with your theme, whatever your whatever niche you're in. Pick a subscribe form that's going to be appropriate for your niche, and you can just kind of play around with this a little bit. So like here, it says you've got automotive, so you see it has cars on there. There's food and wine ones, so there's ones that have food on there. travel. So you can just kind of scroll through and find one that is appropriate for your niche, okay? Then what you can do is then you'll be able to edit accordingly. So when you click on a section, then it opens up this little window and then you can type your message in there. And then you can format it accordingly so it shows you what it's going to look like. So you can just like click on the center and then it kind of lines it up. If you wanted to say have part of it be bold, you can do that. Actually, I don't know that I would want it to be bold just like that. So maybe I would do it like this. Maybe I would even increase the font size a little bit or reduce it. Hit enter. Let's go like this. Okay, and you hit the shift key plus enter to get it so that it doesn't skip a line. I didn't tell you what I was doing there for a second. So like if you just put your cursor there and hit enter, it gives you a bunch of space that you don't necessarily want. But if you click shift and then enter, then it doesn't put that extra space in there. It goes right to the very next line. Okay, so you can kind of play around with that. And if you want to change the color, then you can, you know, obviously change the color. And so it's pretty customizable. You just play around with it until it looks the way you want. And if you put more space in there, it just makes it longer and longer and longer. So see how that works? Okay, so this is pretty much, you can edit it just like you would in a Word document. And it appears that you can create a link out of some of the words if you want to also, which I don't know why you might do that, but maybe you would. I guess if you were going to do something along the lines of like this email privacy and email marketing thing. So if you wanted to create, maybe at the bottom of your form, maybe you just want to put a link that takes people back to your blog or to something else, who knows. Okay, so you want to go ahead and put a title up here that's going to say, give people kind of a draw them in, will make them want to fill out the form, you know, tell them what they're going to get. Okay, and they're going to click save. And then you have to choose if you want both of these fields or if you want additional fields. So let's see here. Okay, so you have a couple of different options. When you click on this section, you can choose to say, you know, full name. You can choose it as first name and then last name. You can add an additional, let's see what this does. Oh, okay, so it shows you what it's going to say. Click here or and then of course when they click on that, then that'll go away and it'll actually, I think you have to click on this to make the text go away when clicked. Otherwise you have to type it. And then this little button right here, this says you know, which things are required. So meaning if we can hide that. So that means that they would have to fill in this information in order for the submit button to work. So if you uncheck this, then the submit button will work without them actually having to fill in any information. So you want to make sure that that is required. Okay, and then you can change what this says also. So if you don't want it to say name, you just want it to say, or you want it to say first name instead of name, then you can change that. Or you can make it all caps if you wanted to. Okay, so you have some different things that you can kind of edit just like that. So okay, so you want to fill that part out, and then if you say you wanted to you know, put another line on here. Let's see. Let me do this. Maybe you want this to say name. And you want this to say phone number. Okay, so you have first and last name, and then you have, so you can change that to be name and phone number, and then you can change that to email. There you go. So either way, you can kind of work with that a little bit and decide what you want to have in there. I recommend just doing, you know, first name and email. That way, people will be more likely to fill that information out. And the more information that you ask for, the less likely they are going to be interested in filling that form out. So keep that in mind when you're creating your form. Okay, click Save. And then you can decide if you want these things to be on here. So I don't necessarily want this email marketing thing, but respect your privacy is fine. Or if you don't even want that, you can take that off. If you want a real simple form, you can just have a simple form. Now you can also edit your footer. So you can put something in there if you want. You can put a list of, I don't know, benefits that they're going to have if you wanted to. And then do the little thing and go, so you could do that if you wanted to. Just kind of get creative with your form and create it however you want it to be. Make it look the way that you want. Tell people what they're going to get by getting on your list. And that's basically it as far as a basic form. It's very simple to create, and then but you can play around with this. You can change the background color. You can change the way that the color blends. You know, whether it has a gradient or not. You can give it a border. Let's see. We just have to play around with it and see what it actually is going to do. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I see it. Put the border, put this line right there. So this is just one of those things where you just kind of get to play around with stuff. So then it put a line here. See how that works? I have not spent a whole lot of time playing around in the forms, creating my own form. I just kind of made a form, made it real quick and simple, and you know, went on about what you know, what I was trying to do. Because the more time you spend playing around with this stuff, this is not a money-making activity. So you want to focus your efforts on the money-making activities as much as possible. So sticking with something very basic is a good thing. But obviously, if you want more stuff in there, you want to add a picture to it. You can put a picture in there. You can, you know, put a divider just like that. I don't even know what you need that for. Add more text in another spot. This powered by email, that's back on there. You could add a counter on there that shows how many people have clicked on there. It's got a lot of different things that you can kind of just add to or take away from or whatever. So add what you want to add. Make it as big as you want it to be or small or whatever. And then you can click on preview to see what it's actually going to look like. Okay, so there's your form. That's what it's going to look like when you are completed with it, or when you've completed it. Okay, so then you can just click on Save Web Form. and go to step 2. Now you want to name your form, whatever you want it to be. My form. And then in order for this to work on the Empower Network blog, you need to enable the Facebook registration form. So you want to click that. Now, if you are not working on an Empower Network blog, then you don't have to worry about this. But for Empower Network, you need to do that. Don't ask me why. It's the only way I get it to work on my blog and be able to click on and fill in the information directly on my blog. Now, if you don't want to do the Facebook integration, I do have another how-to video that shows you how to create the form and have it just be a banner that you can click on and then fill it out on another page. You're more than welcome to do that. You'll just have to search my YouTube channel to find the video where I talked about that. Okay, so if you wanted it to be fillable, if you want the form to be fillable on your blog and you are in Empower Network, then you need to click this Facebook integration. And then your thank you page, let's see here, is going to be your custom page, which we're going to create in the next video. So you don't have to worry about that right now. We will come back and fill this out. And then on your already subscribed, you also want that to be your thank you page as well. So, or you want to send them back to your blog, one or the other, so that I recommend just sending them to the thank you page again, because odds are good that if they're subscribing a second time, maybe they want to go back to your thank you page to download that free ebook that was on there or view the video or something along that line. So just send them back to the same place as if they were a new subscriber. That's probably the easiest thing to do, because if you send them to a page that says you're already subscribed, then they're going to be like, but I wanted this whatever, you know, off of the thank you page, obviously, because there's no direct way to get to the thank you page unless you subscribe. Okay, so then on this advanced settings section, if you want to track your form, then you can put a code in here that will give you an option to track this particular form. Say you're going to put the form on someone else's website and you want to know how much traffic you're getting, then you'll know, or you want to know where, if leads are coming from this particular form, then you can put an ad tracking code in here, and you can call it whatever. You know, form 123, whatever, you can call it anything. Okay, once they've filled out the form, you want them to get the first message in your follow-up series. So you're just going to choose welcome message, first follow-up. Now, if you had more than one message in there, for whatever reason you wanted to start on message 3, then obviously you could do that, but I don't see any point in doing that, because your whole point is you want to start sending them the messages for being on your list, and your welcome message is going to be the one that sends them the free ebook. Okay, unless you want to put the ebook on your thank you page, which is fine too. Okay, so then that is it for this section. We're going to go ahead and click on save and go to step 3. Now, this step we're going to hold off on because we have to create our thank you page before we put our form on our blog post. So that's it for this video. That gives you an idea of, you can start playing around with your thank you, or with your web form, start designing that, and then tomorrow we will create our thank you page. So if you like this video, then click like and click subscribe to my YouTube channel if you aren't already, so that you can get tomorrow's next training video. Thanks, guys.